Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you for joining me for this video. And we're going to be talking about a guy who the Jets just worked out, Obi Melifonwu. And so, the Jets are bringing him in for a workout. He's a defensive back. He's someone that remained a free agent since the 49ers cut him back in April. And the Raiders basically drafted him in the second round of the 2017 draft out of Connecticut. But he's only made 5 appearances with them going back to his rookie season. He played in 2 games for the Patriots back in 2018, which was his last game in which he saw action. He spent 2019 on the Patriots practice squad. So he's 27-year-old and he has 10 tackles in his career. And so right now it's just a workout for the Jets, see what he's got right now, which could potentially result in them signing him. Currently on the defensive side of the ball, obviously they're going through a lot of changes with a new defensive coordinator, so they're going to evaluate. And it makes sense because, Robert, he's obviously had this guy back due to this time with the 49ers. And so he's familiar with him. And so this is a good chance to see, what type of improvements that he's made. And currently in the secondary, they have guys like Bruce Hall, Blazu Austin, Javelin, Guidry back there, defensive back Justin Hardy, and so Michael Carter the third. And so certainly an opportunity for him to possibly, if he does get signed, come in and compete. But if not, at least they brought him in, got that evaluation, got that workout in, see where he's at. In case something were to happen, and the injury were to happen, they could bring him in. So a little bit more about his time, post NFL. As a matter of fact, we'll start with some of the stuff that they talk about is his strength, because obviously he has a small sample size in terms of actually being in an NFL game. So some of the things that they consider his strength is that he has excellent size and speed combination. When you think of guys that have the size and the speed, you probably think of like a younger Richard Sherman, just in terms of the build, to have that size and that speed. And then he has, great height to defend against big receivers and tight ends. And in today's NFL, that is extremely huge. He's a weapon to cover pass catching tight ends. He's fast, obviously, covers a lot of ground on the back end. Can play the deep center field, single high safety potential. So there's another utilization in which he could possibly be used for. Reads quarterback eyes very well. He's athletic. Um, Not tight for a big defender, surprisingly loose hips to turn and run, has ball skills and soft hands to catch interceptions, and they say plays the ball well to avoid penalties and smack passes away. Again, these are some of the reasons why the Raiders took him in the second round, because of all of these that you see right here. Good tackler, can be a strong safety, an eighth man in a box. So he has some, flexibility to him, a lot of potential. It just hasn't come together yet for him. He probably hasn't had, much opportunities, but obviously coming out as a second round pick, expectations were high. But for him now, it's just, finding the right situation. That's going to be extremely huge for him, is to find the right situation. He can provide some special teams coverage. And so if that's what it takes for him to be able to stay on a roster long enough until he's able to, continue to accumulate to the speed of the NFL and start being able to make plays out there, on the defensive side of the ball consistently, that may be the best route for him. It's just utilizing special teams as a way to, land on a roster and so forth. But again, this was basically just a workout here for the Jets, doing their due diligence, and we'll see if that results in a contract there. But throughout his time, post the NFL, I guess you can say, back in high school, he actually played both running back and defensive back in high school. So he rushed for almost 1,400 yards and 17 touchdowns as a senior, and made 14 tackles on defense and had 3 interceptions, and also 10 2-point conversions, and was named the ESPN Boston All-State Team as he rushed for 320 yards and 3 touchdowns in a win over Linchester High School in 2011, and was also a long jumper and triple jumper on the track team. In college, he actually majored in sociology. So there's a little bit about Obi there. But with that being said, thank you so much for joining me for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, as more stuff continues to unfold throughout camp, there's going to be a lot of changes, and I'll certainly be bringing those changes to you. So thanks again for watching, and see you guys next time.